Good, happy Tuesday morning, March 16, 2021. I'm Riley King, and welcome to this Tuesday morning edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. We have a lot of news to get to this Tuesday morning, but first, let's take a look at your traffic this Tuesday morning and see how the roadways are shaping up for this Tuesday morning. Here's a live look at your traffic right now. As you can see on your traffic this early Tuesday morning. In Henniker, you're seeing smooth sailing. Hopkinton, smooth sailing. Bow, Pembroke, and Concord, all smooth sailing. Boscawen and Canterbury, smooth sailing as well. Chichester, smooth sailing. Epsom, smooth sailing with some medium pace traffic. At Northwood, smooth sailing. And Lee, smooth sailing with some medium pace traffic. Durham, smooth sailing with some medium pace traffic. Rochester, smooth sailing. Somersworth, smooth sailing with some medium pace traffic. And Dover, smooth sailing with some medium and slow pace traffic. Newington, smooth sailing. And Portsmouth, smooth sailing with some medium and slow pace traffic. Portsmouth into Maine, smooth sailing with some medium pace traffic. Whoops. Rye, smooth sailing. Northampton, smooth sailing. Hampton, smooth sailing. Seabrook, smooth sailing into the border of Massachusetts. 101, all smooth sailing on 101. Great ride on 101. And earlier accident on Genesis Road, eastbound between Hackett, CT, and Rachel's Way. Around the Manchester and Hooksett area, all smooth sailing. Bedford, smooth sailing. Amherst, smooth sailing. And Milford, smooth sailing. Manchester, Merrimack, Nashua, into the border of Massachusetts, all smooth sailing. Nashua, Milford, all smooth sailing. Manchester, Derry, Londonderry, Windham, Salem into the border of Massachusetts, all smooth sailing with some medium pace traffic in some areas. And that is a look at your morning traffic this morning. Now let's take a look at your traffic cam. And here is a look at your morning traffic cam in Salem, New Hampshire, Route 28 at Rockingham, Toyota. As you can see, only one car off in the distance and very quiet out there this early Tuesday morning. And that is a look at your morning traffic this morning. And now let's take a look at your COVID-19 numbers here in New Hampshire. And here's a look at those COVID-19 numbers here in New Hampshire for all of you. There are 78,813 number of people in New Hampshire have tested positive for COVID-19. There are 1,199 number of deaths from COVID-19 in New Hampshire, and there are 68 current number of hospitalizations for COVID-19 in New Hampshire. And that is a look at your COVID-19 numbers in New Hampshire. COVID-19 cases, hospitalizations decline as no new deaths reported Monday. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Summit Packaging Systems is hiring for all shifts. Summit knows stability, security, and growth are extremely valuable. You'll develop skills to succeed and earn steady income and benefits. Apply online at summitpackagingsystems.com/careers today.
Now let's go to the current coronavirus numbers in New Hampshire. There are 224 new cases today. Active cases have dropped to 2,064. Current hospitalizations down to 68. There are no new deaths to report. Just over 11% of the state has been fully vaccinated.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. COVID-19 cluster associated with Hampton Wrestling Tournament, health officials say. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Does your boiler or furnace vent into your chimney? The majority of chimney flues in New Hampshire are actually used to vent.
Tonight, the State Department of Health and Human Services is warning anyone who was at this facility on March 6th that they may have been exposed to COVID-19. Officials say multiple cases of the virus are associated with the King of the Mat wrestling tournament, which was held at the Rim Sports Complex in Hampton. Contact tracing is underway, but the state says it's alerting the public because there may be others who were at that facility on Saturday, March 6th, between 5 a.m. and 10 p.m. Health officials say anyone who took part in or attended the tournament should get tested. Last month, on the King of the Mat Wrestling Facebook page, a post read, "We will be asking anyone that is coming from outside the New England area to quarantine before traveling here and to get a COVID test 3 days prior to March 6th. The Rim Sports Complex in Hampton says the wrestling promoter contacted every program and official who was involved on that day and says, quote, "Upon hearing the news, the Rim Sports Complex has taken the necessary steps to sanitize and disinfect our entire facility. Over the past year, we have worked tirelessly with the New Hampshire Task Force in writing the proper protocols for amateur sports and will cooperate with the state fully to ensure a safe environment for all our customers." We did reach out to the organizer of the wrestling group, but did not hear back tonight. Reporting live, Mike Cronin, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Hiker from Massachusetts found dead on Mount Moosilauke. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
If you're looking for a more beautiful, creatively organized home, look to Creative Closet Solutions, a quarter-century of experience.
An overdue hiker from Massachusetts has been found dead on Mount Moosilauke. Family members say 66-year-old Roy Sanford planned to take an up-and-back hike and be back by dinner Sunday. When he didn't return last night, they called state police. Search crews found the body shortly before 4 this afternoon. They say it appears weather conditions played a major factor in his death.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Kobe Sawyer converts gym to housing after surge in COVID-19 cases. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Does your boiler or furnace vent into your chimney? The majority of chimney flues in New Hampshire are actually used to vent oil.
In a way, I was the guinea pig student because I was the first student in there and the only student to be there Saturday night.
Jared Marshall created this TikTok video of his experience. It now has more than 80,000 views. Military-style cots, no windows, and...
Because they didn't adjust the thermostat for my stay, so it was a little chilly in the gym that night.
Jared left after Saturday night. Lucky, he says, his parents found a condo in Jackson. New London town officials are helping the school with logistics.
The president reached out to this office last week when it became clear that they had this event. Over the weekend, our police and fire departments and emergency management director were involved in helping them secure some cots.
Becca Lee says she and her boyfriend Jacob were notified Sunday they had to leave their on-campus apartment and move to Hogan, along with their dog Winnie.
Their solution was to put us in the conference room in the gym on 2 cots. The room has no windows. It's just 4 walls and a big table. That was their solution. We showed up. We were the only ones there.
The source of the outbreak is not clear. Students admit there is some finger-pointing going on. The college declined our request for an interview today. For now, students say all classes are remote.
The campus is trying their best. The measures seem ridiculous, but they're trying their best.
And parents tell News 9 school officials conducted town hall-style meetings over the weekend to share information about the outbreak. Live in studio this evening, Amy Cavino, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Londonderry High School community mourns senior killed in car crash. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Summit Packaging Systems is hiring for all shifts. Summit knows stability, security, and growth are extremely valuable. You'll develop skills to succeed and earn steady income and benefits. Apply online at summitpackagingsystems.com/careers today.
You never can really prepare yourself for something like this. It's just overwhelming.
The Londonderry school superintendent emotional Monday, just 2 days after he was notified about the deadly crash.
But shock is really the only word that comes to mind. You never see something like this coming. We opened up Londonderry High School cafeteria, brought in some counseling support, administrative support on Saturday morning. Had about 200 students show up.
Students who are devastated over losing the 17-year-old senior and captain of the football and lacrosse teams.
Just a very vibrant, very outgoing young man, always positive, always upbeat. And I think that was part of the reason why he was so well liked.
Now the school is focused on supporting those who loved him, his family, fellow students, teammates, and his 2 coaches.
When you're in that role, you tend to take care of your students first. But as I've said to both of them, there's going to come a time where they're going to need to take care of themselves too. This is a huge loss for them personally. But anytime there's a loss, that loss we'll need to support each other for a long time because we may feel different things at different times as we go forward.
Grief counselors will remain at the school to help students cope as long as they are needed. Reporting in Londonderry, Kristen Carosa, WMUR News Now.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. FBI, Nashua police seek woman who's been missing for more than a year. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
For the easy and the complex, the small stuff and the big, we're here with the affordable local loans, easy to manage accounts, and financial advice to help you blaze a trail, figure stuff out, and make your money go farther. We're Granite State Credit Union. Live bold.
It's definitely on a daily basis that I think about her and, what has happened to her.
April Bailey's cousin Crystal says they're desperate to get her home.
The feeling is undescribable.
Not being able to find a loved one, I'm not sure what's harder than that.
Investigators with Nashua Police say they've been working on leads since Bailey was reported missing.
We had sent out a press release probably around that time last year, asking for the public's assistance, any help that they could provide us with. We've been investigating it throughout the year actively.
But still, no sign of her. Nashua police are bringing in the FBI to broaden the reach of their investigation as Bailey, a mother of 3, has ties to Boston and Glens Falls, New York.
Obviously, unusual circumstances surrounding her disappearance.
And Bailey's family says she would never leave her kids. They're hoping this latest effort could be what leads her home.
She's important to us.
She's described as 5 feet 3 inches tall, 130 pounds. She has long black hair and blue eyes, a tattoo of a butterfly on her right shoulder, and the word Damien on her right ankle. She was wearing slippers, black sweatpants, and a big black jacket with fur around the hood the night she was last seen. And police say if you have any information, no matter how insignificant it may seem, they are asking you to give them a call or the FBI Boston Division. In Nashua, I'm Charisse LeClaire, WMUR News.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Air travel across the country increases. Spring break crowds in Florida. Let's take a listen to that video from ABC News.
Turn now to the coronavirus here in the U.S. Authorities warning everyone amid the images coming in from across the country of the crowds. The CDC director urging caution today, saying we are just starting to turn the corner, pointing to Europe, where they are facing a cruel new wave and a new lockdown in parts. She said they took their eye off the ball. Hundreds in this country celebrating St. Patrick's Day early in Dallas over the weekend and elsewhere. Miami Beach crowded too, to some of the pictures that have authorities nervous. More than 70,908,000 people have had at least one dose of the vaccine, more than 27% now of all adults. And tonight, what the head of Pfizer is now suggesting about the future. Will Americans have to get yearly booster shots? ABC's Victor Akendo tonight.
Tonight, spring break crowds flocking to bars and beaches from Florida to Texas. Shoulder to shoulder, most without masks. In Georgia, parties in the streets of Savannah ahead of St. Patrick's Day.
I feel like the pandemic is over.
Really?
Yeah.
With 3 million Americans taking to the skies over the weekend, the TSA seeing the busiest month since the start of the pandemic, the CDC director is now sounding the alarm.
We're just starting to turn the corner, but where this goes is dependent on whether we all do what must be done to protect ourselves and others.
Tonight, experts pointing to Europe, where the virus is again surging as a warning. ICUs in Paris transferring COVID patients to ease pressure on hospitals. And in Italy, another new lockdown to stop a new wave of infections.
They simply took their eye off the ball. I'm pleading with you for the sake of our nation's health. These should be warning signs for all of us.
And now several European countries are temporarily pausing administration of AstraZeneca's vaccine after a small number of patients developed blood clots, though the company and global health experts say there is no link. Back in this country, at least 24 states have recently eased restrictions. California today reopening indoor dining, gyms, and movie theaters at limited capacity.
We're thrilled to be back open and let everybody come inside.
With growing pressure to reopen schools, a potential game changer on the horizon. The CDC now rethinking its safety recommendation for 6 feet of social distancing after a new study showed 3 feet of distancing was just as effective as long as everyone wore a mask. If that guidance changes, many more schools could reopen. And tonight, Dr. Deborah Birx, who served as coronavirus response coordinator under Donald Trump, telling our Terry Moran she still thinks about that infamous moment when the president raised the possibility of injecting disinfectant into people daily.
You can see how extraordinarily uncomfortable I was.
Dr. Birx saying she and Dr. Anthony Fauci talked all the time about how to correct the record.
I can't tell you how many discussions we had on how do we get the message out, realizing what's happening at the most senior levels of the White House.
Dr. Deborah Birx talking with our Terry Moran today. Victor with us live from Miami tonight. And Victor, the CEO of Pfizer, also making news this evening as well, when asked about what the future could look like, suggesting it's possible that Americans will have to get yearly vaccine booster shots.
David, that's right. Albert Bourla is saying people will likely need COVID vaccine booster shots every year for at least the next decade, but that in the future, when vaccines are less scarce, people should be able to choose which one they'd like to get. David?
You can see the crowds there gathering on Miami Beach tonight, Victor. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos.
Okay, and thank you for joining us for this morning edition of the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your day and see you back here later on today for another newscast. Goodbye, everyone.